What's up, St. Louis? It's your host, Luke Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. The STL Bucket List Show is driven by Bomarito Automotive Group. Bomarito is Missouri's #1 car dealership with over 20 locations, so I guarantee that there's one in your neighborhood. Since the 1970s, Bomarito has sold over 1 million cars, and John and the entire team made us feel completely comfortable when we picked up our new vehicle recently for the family. So I can't thank the Bomarito team enough for driving this episode forward, and enjoy the show.
Hi, y'all. This is Anastasia, also known as Stazi. I was on the STL Bucket List show, so go and check it out soon.
For 50 years, Bankhead and Firth Orthodontics has been proudly serving the vibrant St. Louis community. As a family-owned and operated practice since day one, the commitment to excellence and personalized care runs deep. They believe in giving back to the wonderful people of St. Louis who have entrusted them with their smiles. Step into the 5 locations across St. Louis with modern offices equipped with the latest orthodontic technology. Their 3 amazing doctors are dedicated to providing top-notch, innovative treatments tailored just for you. Join us in celebrating 50 years with Bankhead and Firth Orthodontics, where your family becomes a part of theirs. Schedule your free consultation today and let them help you achieve the confident, gorgeous smile that you deserve. Because in St. Louis, your smile is your legacy.
If you want to hear about St. Louis, tune in to the Bucket List Show weekly. Hear what Marissa and Luke say. It drops every Wednesday. Got a dope new guest every single week. Buckle up for the ride. Who's it gonna be? Who's on the show today? They rep St. Louis. What to do in the loo on a late night, or maybe what to do on a date night. Yeah, Bucket List has you covered. They know what's going on. What's going on? They'll give you, hey, 18 different things to do, or 19 if you need one more to choose. Yeah, this city is a place we call home. A place we call home, yeah.
St. Louis, we're back with another episode of the STL Bucket List Show. I'm your host, Luke Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. This is episode 123. We've been at it, highlighting the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. My wife, Marissa, she is still out on maternity leave. I know she was back last week, but we got to take care of that baby. Summer has been tough on us, and we've just been trying to do things, check some things off our bucket list this summer, so we've been out a little bit. But I have a super special guest here today. So I have Anastasia Harris, also known as Stazi. Thanks for coming to the studio today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I've been following, I like people that are creative and that do creative things. I feel like STL Bucket List was created through that, of like highlighting the people that make St. Louis special. You're doing things right now, and you're not asking for permission. That's what I love. And if that makes sense, it's like when we do things, we don't need to ask for people to validate it. We don't need to get everything done.
Yeah.
You're just having events.
Yeah.
And you're playing music at a lot of these places. You are organizing the community. So I kind of wrote some things down.
Yeah.
You're a DJ, musician, entrepreneur, community advocate, but you also have a day job. So before we get into all that, I want to take us all the way back. Your upbringing and roots to St. Louis. How did you end up in St. Louis? Tell us about your childhood a little bit and go into that.
Yeah. So I was born in DC. So I'm actually not like born and raised in St. Louis. But born in DC, moved around a bit. I lived in New Mexico. I lived in Texas. But we came to St. Louis in 2007, I want to say. Just my dad's job brought us here. And I say I'm from St. Louis because like those are my foundational years. But that was like middle school. And my mom's side of the family is from here though. So she, was born and raised. Grandparents are from Brooklyn, Illinois. So adjacent to St. Louis.
Yeah, right across the river.
Yeah. I went to middle school, high school. But just parents' job. And then I feel like most of my friends, as soon as I graduated from high school, I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Yeah. I went to Mizzou for undergrad, and then Boston University for my master's degree. Okay. And then I moved to Chicago for like 5 years, again, trying to like avoid St. Louis, which I'll talk about more later about like, I feel like why and how I'm happy to be back now.
Yeah. So you moved to Chicago right after college.
Right after
your grad program.
Yes, because I went to BU, Boston University. Beautiful city, but not for me personally. Like I graduated on a Wednesday and moved on a Thursday. I was
you were out of Boston?
I was very ready to be gone.
Yeah, I heard Boston's tough.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's like a classical old, like it looks like the movies. And
stuff.
It's
beautiful. Yeah. But it wasn't for me at that time in my life. So moved to Chicago, much more aligned. Loved my time there. Lived for 5 years.
What year did you graduate?
Grad school was 2017.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were living in Chicago in your early 20s then.
Yeah, my 20s was like pretty much all Chicago.
Yeah.
Which was fun. And then came back to St. Louis in 2022 in November.
Mm-hmm.
Not to like stay, but just to, like reset, which is why I loved coming back here, just like for family reasons. My mom, like I said, family all lives here. So it was always just like a reset. And then I was going to like maybe move to Charlotte because I was kind of done with Chicago, but I was going to move to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized St. Louis is different. Like it is not the same city that I left in high school. Like there's just so much more going on, and not that these people or experiences weren't here. I just wasn't tapped into them maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also feel like there's just more resources available. There's just like more happening in the city. Like we have a new soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
We have the, updates to Union Station. Like there's just more to do for young adults, which always was important to me because St. Louis is like a family town, which I'm sure is great for you and your family and stuff. But like for me, I'm not in that phase yet. So I still want to be able to enjoy, just going out socializing and
in Chicago, but Chicago is so big
it's
that
huge.
you almost get sucked up in that 9-to-5 life, and that's probably where you were at. So when you moved to St. Louis, what did you experience that you didn't experience? Because you were a child, you were in high school, so of course you weren't downtown hanging out all the time and stuff.
Right, yeah, and Chicago was dope, but I think after the pandemic, things shifted a lot, which I feel like a lot of people had that same experience across the nation, like across the world. Like after the pandemic, things changed. But what I experienced always, it's like a pivotal moment. I went to Sophie's. I went like by myself, which is not something I usually do, like go to a bar or club by myself. But I did to meet up with a friend, but also to link with DJ Nico Marie because she was DJing and I was like really starting out in my DJ career. So like let me like go support a DJ, go to a bar by myself, and thankfully I actually met my partner that night, and she literally knows everybody in St. Louis, so just like introducing me to everybody. Like the vibes were dope. Again, like Nico was spinning, and I was like, this is so cool. Like everyone was so friendly, and I feel like that was something that was hard for me to find in Chicago. Just like off the bat, friendly people. I think the Midwest, well, Chicago is in the Midwest, it's different. It's like a major.
It still gives me East Coast vibes.
It's different. Exactly. And so just like being back in my hometown and feeling all that like love and just like welcoming energy off rip, I was like, oh, it's cute here. Like, I like this. And then, like, having, like...
Sophie's is a good spot, too.
Yes, it is.
It's a good, like, spot to be like, wait, are we still in St. Louis right now?
Hello? And I keep, like, experiencing that. Like, when I'm out and doing things... Like, I recently went to Vidaria, the wine
bar? Yeah.
I was like, are we in St. Louis? Like, I love when I keep having...
She creates a dope vibe there.
Yes, yeah. So when I have experiences like that, I'm like, this... Eventually, I'll stop saying it, and it'll just like be the new norm that St. Louis is that city that has like premier spaces. Absolutely, yeah. I bought a condo. Like, for real? I'm settled for now. Like, it just feels like a line to like be here. So you
met your partner. This is an interesting story, and I know I've met Naira out a bunch. Naira. She's been photos. Her photos are awesome. I love her photos. But I have a similar story of how I met my wife. Is like I went out to this place, and if I thought I wasn't gonna go, imagine like where your life would be if you didn't just go that night by yourself. If you were too scared, or if you were too nervous, like why would I go somewhere by myself? You call all your friends, and then you just stay home. And then you're still single.
Literally, exactly. No, I hit up my best friend.
Do you think about that though? Like,
absolutely.
If you would have met her another time
eventually, because like I'm in like the same scene as her.
You
for
never
sure.
know if you would have had that same connection. Then. And did it kick off immediately?
Oh yeah, immediately. I was like, oh, this is my girl. Like we had a great evening. Just like talking. I feel like that's like the foundation of our relationship. It's just like we communicate and talk all the time. Literally never a dull moment. So I started that night, and I actually had my best friend who's also from St. Louis, and I was like, girl, I'm about to go to this club by myself. Well, she was the one that connected me with Nair, and then also a friend named Noelle. And so, just met so many dope people in that one night.
You were just starting music then?
Yeah.
Like you were just interested?
Literally, I don't even think I had a set yet where I was like getting paid to play yet.
And then you saw Nico and you're like, okay, this is dope.
Oh, yeah. So I was interested. My brother's actually DJ. So my brother, DJ Maximus, he used to live here. He moved to Atlanta.
Matty?
Yeah.
Did he go to Lindenwood?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
You played rugby with him?
Well, no, I used to live out in St. Charles. So I would always go to Main Street, St. Charles. And
he would DJ.
He was DJing there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my brother. We have the same face. I don't know if you can tell.
I don't think I can tell.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, sometimes.
A little bit. I'll have to look.
Which means?
I'll have to look.
So he is a DJ. My little brother also is a DJ. And maybe my cousin is a DJ. So I just saw them doing it. And I'm like, this seems cool. Like, teach me like the fundamentals.
Yeah.
They did like over Thanksgiving, and I was like, yeah, I want to just like try this. That's like my thing. I love trying new things
Yeah.
at least once, just to like see what it's giving. I just love trying, something for the first time.
Yeah.
So I had started. I think I had my little brother's board, and I was like, yeah, let me just start playing. And then the very first set I did where I was paid was with a friend named Paige Lunar Riot. Am I familiar? Yeah.
She just DJ'd something for us.
Yeah. So she gave me my first gig at Sports Social.
Yep.
Had so much fun.
Yep.
And then after that, the gigs just like kind of kept rolling in because of the people that I'm connected to. Like the people that I know are already doing dope things, and then they happen to need a DJ. So that's like Mastermind got me connected with SCL City.
Yeah.
Jerry got me connected with one of my first like bar crawls, like Cannabis Crawl, like off Cherokee Street.
I remember that.
And so
I saw you down at Greater STL too. You were downtown.
Yeah,
and you were doing summer nights and stuff too.
Yeah. So Alonzo, who was now my manager, but I one of the bigger stage that I did, the very first one was for the City Social. I think the second or third one that we had, and my friend.
That was that video you made when you like ran and then you went after.
No, that's different. No,
the
but
City Social was Nitty through that.
Yeah. Well, actually, so not this one, but the one last year, essentially.
Okay.
Same vibe though. Yeah, my friend Angela works for the city, and so she was like, "Oh, we need a DJ. Like, do you want to do this?" And again, I am a baby DJ, so I'm like, "Sure, I'll do it." But because my friends are just like so connected and plugged, I'm happy to like do these opportunities. And so she put me on, and that's when I first met Alonzo. And then again, everything just kind of like
I didn't realize you were
spirals
so
from
new,
that.
because I think we did that event at the Armory, the market, and we were there at
Yeah.
that event too.
Yeah.
We worked with Lonzo on that. But yeah, it's just comes back to anything. But like you probably have that. That feeling of like all these other people are more talented than me because they've been doing it longer.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. It's the energy that you bring. Because I didn't even know you were brand new in 2022 when I saw you. So that's interesting. But I want to kind of take it back. Before music, athletics was a big part of your life.
Oh yeah, for
so
sure.
were you always in track and field then, or other sports?
Yeah, other sports. I played soccer a lot when I was a little kid, like in New Mexico. I played actually tackle football, like
for real.
Yeah, I played football.
You are tall.
Yeah, I am. I used to live in Marshall, Missouri, and so I played.
The Sticks. That was like is that a small town?
Very small. Very small. Yeah.
Like I meant like the Sticks, like the woods.
Oh, the Sticks. I think said the Sticks, like Toronto.
No.
But yes, the Sticks for
Is that
sure.
what the Marshall's called? You're like, I don't think so.
Yeah, and then I played flag football in Texas. Football's big in Texas. But definitely always played sports, always active. And then I ran track in high school. So that was the first time I did that. I tried playing football because, like you said, basketball because, like you said, I'm tall. But I was bad. Like, I could not aim. I was bad. So I would just, like, dribble fast and then do a layup because I couldn't shoot free throws bad. But track was definitely my thing. Like, I'm quick. I always feel like if I had no shade to my coaches, love them to death. But if I had, like, a professional, like a coach that was like, we are getting you to, a D1 school, which I actually did end up running for Mizzou, which is D1, but I had to walk on. So I wasn't like, scholarship or anything. But if I was like really had my eye on the prize to do it, maybe I would have done all 4 years in college, and then maybe in my head I could do anything truly. So I could have gone to the Olympics, okay, if I was serious. But always played sports, but track was like my love for sure.
So you walked on at Mizzou, and then you ended up studying. So you have a day job though. You're not just out here organizing track meets. That's not your job.
Yes, which makes everything harder for
what do you do?
Yeah, I'm a clinical research associate at Northwestern University in Chicago. So I still work in Chicago even though I live here. So it's remote, which is great. But I try to go back once a month. They don't make me or anything, but just, keep that team camaraderie.
Exactly.
But yeah, my research is focused on maternal and child health. So we try to improve the health outcomes of birthing persons through doula care. So we connect people, the intervention group, with doulas, and then the control group, so people that don't really get the research intervention, they just get standard care from their healthcare team. And so the goal, though, is to join together the doula care with the healthcare team to, of course, like improve the health outcomes. Doulas are incredible. They do incredible work. They aren't necessarily clinically trained to, deliver a baby, but they do a lot of comfort measures. They do a lot of education, prenatally and postnatal. So yeah, it's an incredible study. We have sites in Chicago, but also in Baton Rouge, Louisiana,
Mhm.
and New Jersey. So I just manage those studies at those different sites with a
So
few
connecting with the
doulas.
doula. Yeah, we just went through that. We just had
I
a
was
new
just about to
friend.
ask you,
Yeah.
did y'all get a doula?
No, we didn't, but
Okay.
our close friend is a nurse
Yeah.
at Mercy, and we gave birth at Mercy, and she
Nice.
was there the whole time with us, kind of
Mhm.
acting as that person. Like
Yeah.
she wasn't even working that day; she
Uh-huh.
called in,
Mhm.
and they have great doctors there too. But yeah,
Mhm.
like we looked at some of our friends are going through that with the at home births and all
Yeah,
the.
yes.
I'm not. That's crazy for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta be within close to a doctor for sure. But yeah,
I
like it's a
understand.
daunting process for young
Mhm.
women to go through. Any woman, not just young women, but like to
Mhm.
go through that process without somebody there holding your hand because other people are just doing their jobs.
Right.
They do care about you, but they're not dedicated to your care.
Absolutely.
They
And
have
like
other people on the floor that they're taking care of too.
absolutely. It's a lot. And it can feel like the medicalization of like childbirth, like going into a healthcare facility, things can kind of progress in a way that wasn't part of the initial birth plans
Yeah.
because it's medicalization, meaning like we need you. You're kind of sometimes a number. We need to get you in and out. I have, plans later tonight. We need to induce you. May need to do a C-section when maybe all of that wasn't part of the plan. So a doula is a really great advocate as well for people to just like,
Besides like the wife who might be sedated at the moment, or
Mhm.
me who like I'm looking at this plan, not knowing how to actually speak to the doctor
Exactly.
about
It's
it.
a
Yeah.
lot. It's overwhelming, especially
Yeah.
if it's your first baby. So, and even like consecutive babies, it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's so.
That's cool. So you get to do that, but you also like I'm not saying that's not creative, but you also get to be creative in other stuff that you do. And
Yeah.
I always call it the third space. And you're creating, you have your work, you work from home, so you probably need that third space.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So whether it's the bar where you're playing at that night or organizing the track meet. So you found music obviously through your family. You're passionate about the research that you do, but now you're bringing track and field back to us people that are I'm almost 30,
Yeah.
and us that used to be athletic a long
Yeah.
time ago, but now we're a little bit out of shape. I saw some videos. It was funny. Like there are some
Yeah.
people that take it really serious, and there are people that are just having fun.
Literally,
So
yeah.
tell us about the track meet. It's called Run It Back. I think the brand's dope. Did you
Yes.
come up with the branding and all
I
that?
did, yeah.
Yeah.
I said God gave it to me because I'm really
I love
stressed
it.
out when it
Yeah.
comes to like thinking of names of things. So it's like this will be forever. I need to figure out the color palette. I need the
Yeah.
logo. It needs to be.
Yeah.
But I just like calmed down for a second and was like, what name should it be? I feel like it came to me in a dream through the Lord. So Run It Back is the name. It kind of ties. I like to tie things all together. So Run It Back. One, we're running it back, meaning back to the high school days. Like you may not have done it for years, but let's run it back. Also, in music, sometimes when like a track's going, you like run it back,
run it back. Yep.
Yeah. So a few different things, but yeah, I really had a desire to sprint. I think when you're like an adult, there's plenty of opportunities to run long distance. It's I like in Chicago, I ran the Chicago Marathon in 2021, and I did the triathlon in 2022. So I do like long distance running. It's enjoyable, but my true love is
For some
sprinting.
people, long
Yes,
distance.
yes. Not everybody likes it.
Not to run 26 miles.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Maybe a 5K.
Right. But yeah,
But there's no like acceptable time to just sprint through the
Exactly.
streets. Like it looks like something crazy's going on.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
did
just
do that
sprinting.
once though. At a
Yeah.
Jordan Ward concert, I was like racing my friend Justin. I was like, let's sprint. We've been talking for a while, like who's faster? And I'm like, it's me
Let's
for
do
sure.
it right now. Yeah.
Child, I had on a skirt and like super thick Converse shoes, thinking I could like win.
Yeah.
He is the fastest person. Like I know he's so fast, and we were running down the street literally after this concert, and then two other people. People were just like sprinting in the streets, and I was like, this is so dope. Like people want this type of energy, but it's not there. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna make this and just see what happens. And so with my cousin Ricky, who is the founder of STL Run Crew.
Oh, that's your cousin, Ricky?
Yeah,
I love Ricky.
He's like
dope.
my cousin, like not by blood,
Okay.
but by love.
Okay,
So,
yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Ricky's dope. He's been doing a lot of great stuff.
Oh
for
my
the
God,
running community.
incredible. And so it only like made sense for me to like ask him to help me like get this off the ground because it was just me. And so we, brainstormed ideas like how the flow of things should go. I decided to do practices on Wednesday. Initially, it was supposed to be a pop-up event, meaning there's just like one track meet and then maybe one more throughout the year. But when I went to the track practices, people were like, yeah, you got to keep this going. Like this has to be like a weekly thing. And for me, it was like, it sounds good, but obviously that's like a commitment and, given my full-time job, given that I DJ and just other like responsibilities and me time, I wasn't sure, but I felt like I just had to do it. And it is like a really great outlet to, meet up weekly with this new community of
So you
people.
guys been meeting every Wednesday?
Every single Wednesday.
Okay.
Since
And you run
May.
the practices mostly?
Yeah.
Or is it like kind of like a free for all. So I know you did the first event. I was out of town.
Yeah.
But we definitely promoted it.
Yeah.
What was that like? Were you nervous that people were going to show up? Or
I
like,
actually wasn't. This whole entire process, I've been pretty like at peace and calm and just like,
Mhm.
yeah, everything again, it just feels really aligned. And like I had people register obviously, so that helps. I knew
Yeah.
somebody was gonna come.
Exactly.
But we had like over 50 people register, volunteers and runners for the very first meet. Once we got there, we had people sign up, and it was a long line, like maybe 20 people in this line. I was just getting so excited. I knew how I wanted everything to run, and because I had volunteers, like literally 10 to 15 people just there to help,
Right.
it was just so smooth. And yeah, we had vendors come out. Frank, he brought some bagels, again,
Mhm.
free just for people to eat.
Yeah.
We had Cheers give us
Yep.
some beverages.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was great. Literally one of the best days. I didn't realize like when I started it, like it is for old heads, like old track heads like myself who ran, but it's also for the community. Like that's part of the slogan that you don't have to have had any running experience. This is also just to move your body and to be active.
Mhm.
I saw this probably fake statistic, but something on like TikTok said after the age of 30, like 95% of people never sprint again. I don't think that's accurate, but when you think about how many people move their body quickly, like
Yeah.
I think it probably does decrease substantially. So
Mhm.
just giving people an outlet to move and connect
Mhm.
is
And compete too.
yeah, and
It got competitive. I saw the
Yeah.
one guy fell.
Yeah.
Some guy, there's a video online I saw on
I
your
know.
page that some dude fell.
like hard.
He said he's coming back though.
Yes, he is. I saw him the other day. He's healing. He was like showing me his hands. I'm like, okay, you're healing nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing about sprinting though. It's you can two things. When you're running, you can feel like in your head you
Mhm.
want to run faster, but your body literally is not like ready or conditioned to like move that quickly.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened. He thought he was running fast, but his legs were not under his body, so he fell. And yeah, the other part is just like you want to push yourself and all of that, but you can pull muscles immediately. Like your muscles are not ready to like activate as quickly as you want.
Well, that's
So
why I'm
people
glad you do the practices.
Yeah.
Having the practices is great. And I feel like this is going to get huge.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have people like we had last week, like Don Harper. You're going to have these people come show up to these meets and lace up and come really put people. And we're excited to be part. We want to be a part of it more. And I'm glad to be, help you guys promote it as much as
Yeah,
possible. So
thank
July
you.
27th is your guys' next meet.
Yeah.
But you do practices every Wednesday. So you got to practice tomorrow
Mhm,
night as well. I love the branding though. So you kind of spearheaded a lot of this though, like a
Yeah.
lot of your graphics and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
my graphics. Friend named Ashley Bozeman. She lives in I want to say Florida.
Yeah.
She has helped me with graphics in the past, and so she did a lot of
Those
the
are
initial
dope.
design. Yeah, she's a great designer.
Mhm.
And then CapCut, Canva, always
The
coming in.
videos are fun. Just getting people out there. But yeah, this will get big. Get some big sponsors out there. Get
No,
some
I'm
things. So St.
hoping.
Mary's has been good to you guys though.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's a good location, like Central and South City.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
want to keep it as south as possible. But yeah, so Ricky knew I want to say I don't know if he's the athletic director or the running director, but he has a
Mhm.
connection at St. Mary's, and they're happy to have us, be there on Wednesdays and be like the home base for the track meets.
Yeah.
The track meet coming up is actually special. So because it's hot.
If you know Tecovas, you know that they make some of the best and most comfortable Western boots around. But what you might not know is that Tecovas has a store right here in St. Louis at Plaza Frontneck. Stop into their store and you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, jeans, belts, cowboy hats, and even apparel for both men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Come visit the Tecovas store at Plaza Frontneck and let them help you find your new favorite pair of boots or your first pair of boots ever. Tecovas, don't go gently.
I don't want to do it during the day because usually it's like 9 a.m. to noon, but by noon it's probably like sweltering. So we're going to do a nighttime meet. So start around 6 and then end at 9.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler, but it's just been so humid. Who really knows? But I think it'll be fun to just like run like at sunset, with people.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Gotta get some video out there of that.
Yeah.
So, all the stuff that you're doing, we always talk about balance and, I do all these things, podcasts, entrepreneurship, dad, husband, all these different things. And I think that balance is bullshit. There's no such thing as balance.
Okay.
And what is your thing on that? Because I feel like when you're doing all these things, you said me time. How do you balance all of them, but still give enough time to be successful at every single one? Because you can't half-ass one of them because then that will then cause you to half-ass the other thing?
It's something I'm still learning how to do.
Mhm.
I recently because I'm always like moving in a space of like gratitude. I'm extremely grateful for, all of the opportunities and all of
Mhm.
the support, blessings. But yeah, I one thing I'm learning to do is like not everything is necessary. I like to kind of do the most sometimes and I don't need to. So like with DJing, I like to have a new hairstyle every single time I'm DJing. I like to have a new outfit every single time I'm DJing.
Yeah.
Girl, cut that. No.
Yeah.
Like you gotta go back in your closet. You gotta keep the hairstyle longer.
Yeah.
So like when my first year DJing, I'm sure if you look at the pictures, I had a new outfit and a new hairstyle
I noticed that.
single
I didn't
time.
know what kind of hair you had
Yeah,
because I was like, I
yeah.
was looking for you in the parking lot and I was just like, I don't even know.
Yeah, and I mean that's me in general. Like since I was
But
a
that's
kid.
like, for one, it's expensive to do that.
Yes,
to get
it
a new
is.
outfit every time.
Yes, it is.
And
With what
then
money?
For two, it's like, okay, now I got to get ready 5 hours before the show instead of just throwing like a nice outfit on that you probably already own.
That I already have. So yes, that's one thing, like figuring out what is actually necessary and what am I adding additional stress onto my life for that I don't need. But I agree, like I like to show up my best self. And when I feel like I'm not giving something a 100%, then I'm then internally like beating myself up because I could have done better.
Mhm.
I have like, again, I'm working on it. Work in progress. I don't even have a full answer, but my work in progress is like when I am DJing, I will be so like hard on myself like after a set when I feel like it wasn't perfect or I made mistakes, and then I'm like, child, oh God, like I'm embarrassed almost, and I don't want to go out in public because I feel like I didn't do my best on that platform. So honestly, just like being more gentle with myself and more patient with myself, and taking it literally like maybe not day by day, but like every two day. Because I do need to
It's
plan out a
hard
little
to
bit.
be hard on yourself, and and it's really like that's what causes anxiety is when you feel like you're not showing up the way you should show up. And there's some days where I'm sitting on my computer like, do I really need to do this? And I'm like, okay, if I just get it done, you get it out of the way.
Yeah, and
you
it's
do
such
the
a
hard
relief.
things in the morning. You know, I always do all the hard things and do a to-do list. But now you're adding another job. Like this community, run it back. Like now people are relying on you to keep doing this. So it's like now it's a privilege, but it's also pressure.
Yes, and I'm learning how also to delegate more.
People want to help, and you just have to be comfortable giving tasks.
Giving it to them,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think because I am like skilled in a lot of things that I'm doing, I feel like I can do it well and I can just get it done.
Yeah.
But again, that adds like stress, and it's like where are you finding the time to do it? So learning how to delegate, which sometimes does cost money because a lot of people, not everybody wants something for free. So
Of course.
I do have to pay sometimes to delegate. But yeah.
And when delegation's huge, and being okay with it not being the exact way that you would have did it, and that's important when passing things off. Like I've built my team; we have 7 people now, but it was 1, then it was 2, then it was 3, then it was 4. Now things get done or go out on STL bucket list, and I'm like, wait, I didn't even know about that, which is great.
Yeah,
but it's also like, oh, I would have changed the way that caption looked.
Same, yeah, exactly.
It's just petty.
It's releasing like control and also like trusting people, which I feel like with Run It Back, we had a track practice. Also, I'm not like a trained like coach. Like I watched YouTube videos, but I'm not like a professional track coach. Like I'm just out here like everybody else. It's my first day out here. And so I went into like the recent track practice, the one before the field day, and I had someone like help me train and like lead the practice. And that was really helpful. So I didn't feel like all of it was on me and like I had to make like the right decision or train them the right way. Like I don't know everything. And so it's like releasing that control and trusting other people to also like carry the load with me. Something that I'm learning to do because I'm not like next week I'm gonna be DJing the STL City on Wednesday. Yeah. So I can't be at track practice. So it's like I could cancel it or I could just like delegate it to somebody else and let the practice continue.
Can't
so
let the momentum go.
Exactly.
So you're building community. So like what is in 60 seconds explain like this is tough, but what St. Louis means to you? Because now you're home. This is your home, like you said. You bought a house here. Yeah. Your partner's here, your family's here. So in 60 seconds, like give us what St. Louis means to you in the community.
Yeah. I mean, it means so much. I've experienced a lot of healing here. A lot of like unexpected like love and security, safety. I feel like Chicago is great, but I went through some things in Chicago, and I feel like I grew a lot. Like again in my 20s, like most people do. But St. Louis is just this like safe resting place that I can just continue to sprout, grow. and find and discover myself. I feel like I'm constantly like figuring out
Mm-hmm.
what's next or what do I want to do, who do I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like no matter what I choose to do, I'm supported and loved in that journey. And so
Mm-hmm.
again, it feels extremely aligned being here. And couldn't imagine, like, I absolutely not. I wouldn't move to Charlotte. Like, this is it for now.
Well, we're glad.
So
We're glad that you're here. I
yeah,
think I feel the same way. I think that, I don't think I would have been possible to build our business in any other city just
no,
because St. Louis has really, and we pour back into it though. And I think it's a value exchange. It's like, if you want to be successful with Run It Back, it's not about you. It's about other people. You have to pour your energy into them,
Yeah.
and then they're going to be your marketers. They're going to tell
yeah.
people about it.
Th-
I found
literally.
out about it.
Yeah.
I think you reached out or I reached out, but like I knew who you guys were, and then I was like, oh, that looks super dope. I was like drawn in by the branding, and I was like, I love sports. I was talking to Chris at Profield, and I was like,
Yeah.
Chris has been like involving sports and fashion and music all together. And you see that in Chicago. People are doing that all the time. New York
Yeah,
City,
for sure.
LA, San Diego, San Francisco, all these other big markets are doing things like that, and they're community-driven projects. And I just hope that the city can get behind it and really help you guys elevate it, whether that's with grants, whether that's with sponsorship, whatever it might be, whatever you
Yes.
need. It could just be water and fans.
Literally, whoever has water in the city, give it to us. We need it. We need a water sponsor so bad. So
Yeah.
no, I appreciate you saying that. It's so important. I post, for track practices every Tuesday. And we have like 15 people that I feel like are the base of Run It Back. They've come to pretty much every practice, and within seconds they are reposting it. And so they are the community.
Yep.
And it wouldn't be what it is or grown to like where it is without them sharing it. It couldn't just be me sharing on my socials. Like, it has to be all of us collectively like working together and having the same mission in mind. So like literally Cam, he helped us design. I don't know if you saw the rabbit that we had on the page. He designed it. It's so for people that win.
Oh yeah, the Run It Back rabbit. The orange one. Yeah.
That's the mascot. I don't know what his name is, but Cam, Art
cute.
Culture King, he created. So cute. He created it, and like the impact that Run It Back has had on like folks' mental health. Matthew, he came to run at the first meet. His dad came and hadn't come to a lot of his practice track meets in high school.
Yeah.
Amber, she ran the track meet and like had I think an injury that ended her career early, and so now she got to like redeem herself and come back on the track and
That's dope.
and
these are people you never met until
Run It Back. So
Wow.
it's just like the impact that it's had is just so much bigger than me and bigger than the initial idea I had. Just like, oh, let's just sprint together. Like,
And there's some people in the crowd
more
here.
than that.
There's some ladies racing here.
Those are my
some-
mom and my aunties.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so initially I was like,
That's fire.
I didn't know what age. I didn't cut it off at any age.
Yeah.
You can run if you want, but I didn't have like a kids division
Yeah.
because like liability and stuff.
Of course. Yeah. Having
but
kids there and stuff.
Yeah, but the day of, we did like a little kid race. It
Mhm.
was the cutest thing ever. My mom, like the
Mhm.
50 plus that still got it with
Mhm.
their run. So
Yeah.
it truly was like a community event that everybody got to participate if they wanted to. And we
Mhm.
had folks in the stands. Like, it felt like the coolest track meet I've ever been to. My brother Maddie, he came back to
I
DJ.
saw that, DJ. Nice,
Yeah,
nice. That's dope.
so it was.
It was like a family thing, and then now it's just it's going to get even bigger and bigger, and we're going to
Yeah.
manifest this. But
Yeah.
let's do one maybe August, September
Yeah.
with Dawn. Let's get some people out there.
Yes.
Let's get STL Bucket List out there. Let's get food vendors.
Yes.
I'm thinking smoothie bowls,
Oh,
wellness,
yes. Yes.
juice, fresh pressed juice bowls, like all that stuff.
I'm
there.
manifesting it. I receive it.
And
Yeah.
we'll do it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So,
Yeah.
I have one more
That'd be
question for
great.
you.
Yeah.
STL Bucket List is, your favorite places in St. Louis. So
Yeah.
if you had to like narrow it down of your bucket list spots in St. Louis, these are
Yeah.
either places you love to eat at,
Uh-huh.
maybe play music at,
Uh-huh.
maybe just go walk in the park at,
Yeah.
or exercise. Like, do you have your idea of an STL bucket list? I know you talked about Sophie's. I don't know if that would be on there, but if somebody's coming in town, maybe some of your friends, where are some of the places that you're going? What are the
Yeah.
places you're going on a date night to
Yeah,
eat?
exactly.
So,
My favorite date night restaurant, hands down, Sato, which I don't know if that's how you pronounce Sato. I
Yes,
had a feeling
it's all
it was
good
Sato.
though. Fire.
Fire! And my favorite thing is
That's pricey though. You better bring a bag.
It
to go
sure
eat there.
is. I don't even know where we get the money every single time, but we just like put our card in and there's no problem. But what happens, the bartenders, which Natasha is one of them, but I forget the other bartender's name.
Yeah.
But we sit at the bar every time, and
Yeah.
it's so cool because we connect with the bartenders.
Mhm. At the bar in the front.
The
and then
front.
the sushi bar in the back.
Yeah,
You
we
can
don't
sit at
actually
too.
sit at the sushi bar. We sit
You
at the
can
bar
see
right
them
there at
and
the
have them
front.
roll, though.
Yeah, that's nice. It's like those are hard seats to get though, I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah.
So we just sit at the bar at the front. And because like we've been a couple times, Natasha, they'll like give us like they get presents to people if they want.
I got one too. Like it was like a roll. It was like a sashimi. It was like something. I'm like, oh
super
yes, it was like a
good.
$20 roll. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take
Well,
that.
for
I'm taking like 3 bites because my wife and I are trying to share it. And the bites, I'm like, hey, you take a little bite and then I'll take a little bite. And you sit with it for a second.
Exactly. We do that.
They do a good job. He does Indo.
So
he has Indo too, which is another.
Yes, I've been there. That's really good. I love sushi. So I
that's
love
go-to
Asian
date
food.
night. Celebrating anything, you're going to Sato.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We need to go honestly soon. But yeah, Sato. Favorite restaurant. My favorite place to DJ at. I honestly feel like it's STL City. Like that feels like family. I love like going back. The energy is always great.
Pre-game, the block parties.
The block parties and like the after party.
Yeah.
I just love DJing there. The people are just dope.
The vibes there are crazy too.
Insane. And I just love sports, so it just makes sense. New Era World, so Naira's photo studio.
I haven't been there yet. I keep seeing it. It
Yeah,
looks so
she's
dope.
having an open studio, I want to say this weekend actually. I think RSVPs are closed, but
we'll come check it out. But like it looks dope.
Yeah, it's so cool. So dope. The work they do is great. Yeah. Photo studio. And then my favorite place to like run, which I thought it was Forest Park, but low key Tower Grove is the most beautiful park. Like
it's shadier too.
So shadier.
The trees are bigger in there.
Yes, and
Forest
I feel
Park's
like
got good
hilly.
views because you can like sit by the. It's busy though.
Yeah,
Tower Grove's a little bit more low key.
It is exactly. I ran there in the morning, literally on a work call because I'm doing 10 things at once typically. So I was like on a call and running at the same time, and then it was my turn to talk. I had to like catch my breath and then talk. But yeah, Tower Grove is one of my faves. I think that's my list. How many do I need to give you?
No, that's good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you had Tower Grove, Sato.
Yeah.
There's so many good spots like STL City, obviously, just being at that field. That's cool that you guys work together on those nights too.
I know. It's so cute. I'm so happy when we get you.
She's doing a lot with the team now.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's literally, she shot with them today, like a Purina something.
Yeah, their content is so good.
So
I
good.
love what they do.
Yeah.
All right, so to wrap it up, if you could give advice just to like a younger, doesn't have to be a younger girl that's like wanting to follow her passion, but also has pressure to like be in the corporate world. What advice would you give to that person?
Oh gosh,
because they might be listening. We have some young people that listen to the show.
Yeah. I would say like for me, the reason that like I kind of went into sports or went into running back or went into DJing is because I'm really big on working to live and not living to work. I think it's so important to have a life and a experience outside of a 9-to-5. While that is literally my passion, I think that work I do is extremely important for like the health of birthing persons and just people in general. It's important to have that balance. So go for it. Like you will find the time. And for me personally, like I find that I'm more productive with kind of like the more things that I have to do. So it'll all kind of make sense, but you just have to, put yourself out there to fully, in my experience, in my opinion, to fully like enjoy life. You have to do more than that 9-to-5. So just go for it, and it'll all align when it should.
That's dope. That's good advice. So I appreciate you for making the time.
Yeah,
I know you're busy.
Yeah.
Check your IG. I'll drop the tags for you guys to go follow. But you have shows coming up. I know we got our 5-year anniversary coming up July 13th. We got the track meet on the 27th.
Yeah.
So go support that, and then I'm sure just follow you on Instagram. You post all the things that you guys are doing. So stay up. But I appreciate you. Thanks for the time.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited for what's next. So thank you.
Let's get it, guys. Go support St. Louis.
Today they rep St. Louis, yeah. They rep St. Louis. They rep St. Louis.